Hello and how's everyone doing today? Welcome to the channel. If you're new, if you're a returning viewer, I am glad to have you back, and welcome to another episode of Justin Talks Games. Before we get started, make sure to grab your drinks. I have my drink right here, just a nice water. Make sure to grab your snacks. I don't have any snacks, but that is okay. Make sure you get yours, and let's get into it. As you can tell, I'm not as enthusiastic and I'm not as full of energy when I make these videos in today's video. The reason for that is the subject that I want to talk about today is it's a very sensitive subject, and I don't want to hurt anybody. I don't want to upset anybody, and I don't want to anger anybody. I really don't. So I want to put this out here now as an apology if I do upset anybody, if I do hurt anybody, or if I do anger anybody. It is not my intention to do so in any way. So yeah, I do apologize. So let's get into it. So I know that you're not supposed to let people bother you on the internet. You're not supposed to let people bother you online because, let's face it, all these people hide behind screens and they can say and do whatever they want, if we're being honest. But the problem is the repercussions of what people say about you that could bleed into other things. Example, I have my Reddit account, which this is what this video is about. I have my Reddit account, so things that are said about me could affect my Reddit account. I have my YouTube channel, which you guys are watching me on right now. I have that connected to my Reddit account. And things that are said about me on there, people could go click on my profile, click on my YouTube, and they could spread things on my channel too, right? So it's not a great thing overall. So you really have to be careful with what you say online. So again, I don't know how to do this video. I don't know how to structure it. So like all my other videos, I'm just sitting here talking to you guys today. That's why I said if I upset anyone or if I hurt anyone, it's not my intention, and it's the last thing that I want to do. So earlier today, I was on Reddit. I was on the Oblivion subreddit. I love Oblivion. It's my favorite Elder Scrolls game ever made. I love going to the subreddit. I love seeing the posts there. I love reading the comments. Most of the time, it's a very wonderful place to be. The people there are nice most of the time. The posts are great, like I said, and overall, it's just a very good place to be. But today, unfortunately, was not one of those days. So someone made a post on there, and the post itself, there was nothing problematic or wrong with the post at all. I want to say that up front. I'm not going to be giving names of the person who did the post. I'm not going to be doing any screenshots of the conversations, the replies. I'm not going to be doing any of that because I don't want anybody going and attacking people because they, were out of line, right? That doesn't make anything better, so I'm not going to do that. But anyway, I was on the Oblivion subreddit, and there was a post about Shadowmere. Now, Shadowmere, if you guys don't know, is a very cool horse that Sithis, who, the easiest way to explain him is basically this god of death, I guess you could say. That's the way how I take him anyway. He's essentially the god of death. And the Dark Brotherhood, which are, it's a group of assassins, they pray and worship Sithis. Now, Sithis created a horse named Shadowmere. Shadowmere does not have a gender. It's not male nor female. It is just what it is. It was created so that Sisyphus, his agents, um, like his top agents, are able to get where they need to go and fulfill their contracts. Um, so the post that was made, it asked a question. Again, there was nothing wrong with the post itself, because basically what they wanted to know is what is Shadowmere? What gender is he? What is he in general? Um, and there was a list of things that the person thought that it could be. Because in one game, in Oblivion, I believe he's referred to as a male, I believe. In Skyrim, is referred to as a female. Now, the one thing you do have to remember about this is that the leader of the excuse me, not the leader, but the person that you get Shadowmere from in Oblivion is a male character. So he is more likely to say Shadowmere, he is a great companion, blah blah blah. Use the he pronouns. Whereas in Skyrim, the leader of the Dark Brotherhood in Skyrim is a female. So in Skyrim, Shadowmere is called she, right? She is great. She does this, blah blah blah. Using examples, you know. So the person asked, basically, like I said, what is Shadowmere? Is it a male or is it a female? Because it's called one thing in one game, it's called another thing in another game. Now, as I explained before, Shadowmere does not have a gender. It just exists. It just is. It's a powerful being created by Sisyphus. So the person who made the post made a list of things that what it could possibly be. And I don't remember what the other ones were, but the one that I'm more focused on, and the one that started this huge issue, was number 4 on the list. He or she, I don't know if the poster was a he or a she, so I'm not going to say that either, but the poster put for number 4, transgender horse. Now, realistically, Shadowmere, it's physically impossible for Shadowmere to be that. Because, again, as I mentioned before, Shadowmere is nor male nor female. It doesn't want to be the opposite gender. It doesn't act like the opposite gender. And I do apologize if this, upsets or hurt anybody, but it doesn't pretend to be the other gender. It doesn't use any female attributes. It doesn't use any male attributes. As I said, it doesn't act either way. It just exists. So I made a comment, and I said that Shadowmere cannot be transgender. And a lot of people got very, very hurt and very, very offended by my comment. And I explained it the exact way that I explained to you a couple of seconds ago. And even though I explained it in such a way, I still got bashed and smashed. I got, not that downvotes mean anything on Reddit, realistically. I mean, maybe you can get so many downvotes, and then maybe the community manager, whatever you call them, moderators, I couldn't think of the word, maybe they'll see you have so many downvotes and they'll basically ban you from the subreddit, or they'll silence you for so many days or something like that. But other than that, it doesn't really do much. But anyway, I had over 67 downvotes for my comment, and the downvotes don't bother me. Honestly, I could care less about the downvotes. To me, it's just a click of a button. I don't care about that. What is really stupid is that me giving a realistic answer without being offensive and without hurting anybody or being hateful towards that group of people still got me downvoted, still got people very, very hurtful and angry towards me. I don't understand it. I purposely do not share my opinions on certain groups of people because I don't want to. It'll do damage either way. Let's be realistic. It'll do damage either way. If I say, yes, I am all for trans rights, I'm all for that. You're going to have the people who are against that, who are going to label me this and that, and, it'll be bad. If I say, no, I'm against trans rights, I don't agree with that, the ones that who do agree with those things, again, it'll do a lot of damage to me, and it's not worth it, and it's not worth the headache, and it's not worth the state of mind that it could potentially put me in. Now, online stuff doesn't really bother me, but why have the chance to, or I should say, why put myself in a situation where I could do more damage to myself, whether I say I agree or disagree with something, or I can just say, nope, I'm not getting involved in that. That's where I stand. I'm not getting involved in that online. I'm not picking a side. So, with that being said, when I made my comment on the Reddit, the post, I didn't say anything hateful towards them. I didn't say anything disrespectful towards them. I didn't say anything that I agreed with them. I didn't say anything positively towards them. I stayed neutral. I basically just laid out the facts, saying that Shadowmere is what it is, and it can't be what this particular thing that you're potentially saying he might be. So I pointed that out. And a lot of people, like I said, a lot of people got angry. A lot of people got mad. And it was very nice of someone from the subreddit actually reached out to me and asked, hey man, because of how under fire the subreddit is right now, are you okay? Don't let these people bother you. Are you doing okay? And yeah, I very much appreciate that person reaching out for me. It means a lot to me that someone else in that community reaches out and asks if I'm okay. And this is what I mean by the Oblivion subreddit, for the most part, is a very welcoming and caring place. This person didn't have to do that. They could have sat back and just ate popcorn and watched everything go down. But no, this person genuinely cared about how I was feeling and how I was doing because of how bad it got. And it just shows how caring some of the people in that subreddit are, and I appreciate it very much. And I even told them such. It was a personal message. They reached out to me on Reddit, and I'm very thankful, and I appreciate them doing that. And but yeah, it got very, very bad. I got called transphobic, and basically, I'm hurtful towards trans people, and saying the things that I'm saying negatively impact them, and just all these terrible, terrible things. And again, the last thing I want to do is ever hurt anybody or upset anybody or anything like that. And that's why I'm reaching out, and this is why I'm making this video right now. Because, again, as I said at the start of the video, some things that you say and some things that you do and some things that other people do towards you can affect, I guess, your social status, I guess you can say. I'm not online 24/7 nonstop of my life, but again, I have been trying to build up this YouTube channel. And whether I get to the point where I make, I start making money or not, that's besides the point. I enjoy making videos. I love doing this regardless if I make money. But I've put a lot of time and effort into this channel. And as you guys know, I've never ever been like that. Yeah, some opinions of mine can not be forceful, but I can be very strong in my opinions, but that's more so towards games themselves. Not groups of people or anything like that. But people saying all these things, what's stopping them from saying, man, this guy's this? And seeing all these comments and my replies basically being like, okay, I'd never said any of that. There was one person said that what the heck was it? I basically said that downvotes don't mean anything. I do apologize. I essentially said that downvotes don't mean anything to me, and that I didn't say or do anything wrong. And then the person came back and basically said, well, yeah, it does. You have lots and lots of downvotes, and the moderators can view that, see you have so many downvotes, seeing how many people are against you, and they can basically ban you from the subreddit. Now, obviously that is true, but my reply back to that was, I didn't lean angry. I didn't lean, not angry. I basically said, I don't have anything to apologize for, because, no, sorry, I'm getting mixed up. My head's all over the place right now. Basically, yeah. Sorry, they said about the downvotes and all that could cause me to get banned and all that. And then what I said was, well, if I do get banned, it's unfortunate, but at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter to me, because there are multiple other Elder Scrolls subreddits that I can go and I can enjoy. Example, obviously there's the Skyrim subreddit. There's the Elder Scrolls, just general subreddit. There's the Elder Scrolls lore subreddit. There's so many other subreddits that I could go to. So I was basically like, well, if I get banned, it's unfortunate. I'm not on, Reddit 24/7 of my life. So if I get banned from, the Oblivion subreddit, yes, it's unfortunate, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. I don't really care, right? But I don't purposely do things to get banned, right? So I don't really care if I get banned, because again, there's so many other subreddits and stuff like that, and communities, that I can engage with, where I can talk about Oblivion. I can talk about other Elder Scrolls things if I wish to. So at the end of the day, yeah, it sucks, because I love the Oblivion subreddit, and I love how most of the people there are caring and all that. Like I said, the one guy reached out, very, very wonderful, but if I get banned from there, it's not the end of the world, and I'm not going to sit around, and pout and be all sad about it just because I got banned from one subreddit. There are millions of subreddits on Reddit, so at the end of the day, whatever, but it was after that they're like, oh, well, at least this is a change of pace, and you're actually taking accountability for your bad opinions and all that. And my reply to that was, I didn't have a bad opinion, and I don't. What do you mean taking accountability? I don't have anything to take accountability for, due to the fact that I didn't say or do anything wrong. And it just blew up from there. That's when it basically went, oh yeah, your opinion's bad, and then, like I said, being called transphobic, and then people sending like these long paragraphs, like this long, to be honest, I didn't read that. I didn't read the whole thing, it basically started, I can't remember how it started off, but essentially it was basically like, this is how it affects transgender people and all that. And I was like, I'm not going to sit here and read a word wall. I don't read word walls, whether it be on Reddit, Facebook, YouTube. If you write me a comment and it's like a super super long word wall, I'll be honest, I won't read it. Break it up into paragraphs, and then I will. But yeah, it got really, really, really bad. And if I get banned from the subreddit, I mean, it sucks and it's unfortunate. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. But it's just, it's crazy how you state a fact, not an opinion, but a fact, and you get called all these nasty names, and you basically rally all these other people against you, and it's crazy. And it also, again, I was also going to bring up some other labels and stuff too, and I brought this up in the subreddit during the whole thing. That spoilers for Code Veronica, by the way. So if you haven't played Code Veronica, I'll give you a couple of seconds to click off here. Okay, so if you're still here, that's great. I have seen posts and stuff claiming that Alfred Ashford from Resident Evil Code Veronica is queer and transgender, which is absolutely incorrect. I'm not going to get into why he is the way he is, but there is a huge reason to why he is the way he is. But again, that's just slapping a label on something because you see something at face value, which is incorrect. There is another character from one of the Horizon games. I don't remember if it was Forbidden West or if it was the first game. I haven't played either one in a long time. Beautiful, wonderful games, by the way. And, I wish they would make a third one, but that's besides the point. There is a character in one of those games, a female character, who hides her identity because she wants to be a soldier in her tribe's military. Now, that is against the rules of the tribe. I don't remember the name of the tribe. I don't remember any of that. But in that specific tribe, only the males are allowed to be soldiers. Now, this female character, she wanted to be a soldier. She wanted to go out and fight and all that. So she hid her identity. Keyword, hid her identity. And donned the armor and went out and fought. I saw on that subreddit that people were claiming that she was transgender. Again, another mislabel. It seems like if somebody doesn't understand something, or if they just look at something at face value without doing any more research, or either playing said game or watching said movie or even reading said book about a character or anything like that may look a certain way but most certainly is not, is still getting said labels thrown on them online. And if you correct it, that is when all hell breaks loose. And this brings me back to the Oblivion post. On top of the Shadow Mirror thing, I also did say that, sorry, I'm getting all mixed up again. Basically, people using labels kind of thing. I brought up Alfred Ashford and people using that label on him when it is completely incorrect. And I also brought up the character that I just talked about from Horizon, also having that label tossed on them when it is incorrect. because I went in there level-headed and went in and corrected them in a non-hurtful way, by the way. I didn't attack anybody. I didn't go in hateful or anything like, oh, you're a goddamn idiot. You think this. You're all goddamn morons. I didn't say anything like that at all. I basically said that, I know I'm repeating myself, but Shadowmere it's physically not possible for him to be that. Alfred Ashford is not like that. He has his reasons for why he is the way he is. And just like the woman in Horizon, she is the way she is for reasons, and she is not that label. But, after saying that, people have said, oh, I can't believe you have such a fragile mental ego. And then again, throwing, the transgender phobic stuff at me again. Now, like I said, usually these things wouldn't bother me, but because of the scale of how bad it got, I wanted to make a video just in case. It probably won't. It most likely won't, but just the off chance that it does bleed on to my Reddit myself. Reddit, my Reddit page itself, or my YouTube channel. People come from that to make hurtful posts on my YouTube channel, or even somehow finding out my Facebook and going to Facebook and saying certain things. So yes, I'm not going to hide it. This is kind of damage control because of what happened, and I just want to be completely open and honest with you guys. That I do not go out of my way to hurt people or anything like that. So I just wanted to make this video. I wanted to talk about it a little bit and just say, ultimately, to be very careful. Even if you're correcting people and you're not being hateful in any sort of way, be careful with how you talk to people and what you do online, because it can bite you in the ass, even if you're being informative. So again, like I said, I don't know how to do this video, but that's basically it. As you guys know, I'm not a hateful person. I don't go disrespecting groups of people at all. I don't have a problem with different groups of characters. Hell, one of my favorite games of all time is Fallout New Vegas. And Fallout New Vegas has lots of representation. It has gay characters. It has lesbian characters. It has bi characters. And I love that game. You go to the strip and you have escorts, again, that are gay and lesbian and bi. And, they don't discriminate. And it's one of my favorite games. And I love that there is inclusion in these games. I have nothing against that at all. I'm not a hateful person whatsoever, like these comments are trying to make me out to be, which I think that's the more hurtful part to me. That you have people labeling, saying that I'm this hateful person, that I'm transphobic, I'm this and that, and I'm the farthest thing. You want to be what you want to be, do whatever you want. Just don't force others to agree or disagree. That's all I'm going to say on the subject. But if you do whatever you want to do, is all I'm going to say. So why these people are saying, oh, you're this, you're that. I mean, obviously these people don't know me, and they're just spouting off because, they saw red and steam coming out of their ears by the simple fact of me saying that this fictional horse, by the way, not a real horse. Obviously, it's in a video game. But this fictional horse in the universe of the Elder Scrolls is not possible to be what, one of the labels that were slapped on it. That's all I did. And, yeah, apparently it got out of control. And, so if you see any angry comments on my YouTube videos, if any of you know what my Reddit is and you see hateful comments on previous posts that I've made, just try to ignore them. And yeah, I just wanted to give you guys an update on this situation that has started. It may not go any farther than Reddit, and I hope to God it doesn't, because it's definitely not something that I need, especially right now. Um, but yeah, I just wanted to give you guys an update. I just wanted to talk about this because it's crazy that I feel like everything has to have a label now, and it's just I don't understand it, you know. Um, but I guess I'm gonna leave this video here. I'm already half an hour going on and on and on. So yeah, that's about it. So as I said, if you guys see anything, just ignore it. Don't snap back at these people. Don't do anything if anybody decides to come and attack me on my other platforms. Just leave it alone. I just want to make this video as a precaution to if this escalates to anything possibly further. Again, it probably won't, and this whole subject is probably over and done with right now. If it's not done by now, it'll probably be over and done with by excuse me, by the end of the day. But either way, I just wanted to explain stuff in case it does go further. Again, I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful day, and you guys will see me in the next video, and that is Assassin's Creed. I hope you all have a very wonderful day, and I hope you all take care.